What year was it that you came to Arizona? Well, first of all, let me ask you this: what kind of music did Dutch like most?
Jazz. Complete jazz.
The
Jazz.
early jazz.
Oh yeah, the early jazz.
Which artist did he like?
Oh goodness. I got a bunch of them at home. I should have looked at. I like Steve.
Marcellus.
No, real jazz. All the old timers.
Like Dave Brubeck.
Dave Brubeck. That's what I wanted. Yeah. Dave Brubeck. What's the guy that was doing the? There was a tenor sax. And I remember buying that album and telling him about it, but I don't remember the artist's name. But Dutch liked it. But if we went out, we'd go to jazz, and that would be in Malibu, closest to us, and we knew a lot of people there.
Did you like any other kind of music? Like
and he knew people that I didn't know.
Did you like any country music or any of that?
No.
No. Just jazz.
Just jazz.
Yeah.
That was his. That was his love.
I understand he was a good flute player.
Oh my gosh. He was better than anybody I've ever heard. I have not heard anybody on flute like Dutch could blow that flute.
And you said he played in some bands?
Oh yeah, you would be invited up to play with him. Oh, we have a, and they'd introduce him, In case you don't know, this is the artist Von Dutch, and he loves his flute, and we love it too. And he would get up there and just, he was unbelievable.
It's something that a lot of people don't know about him.
His music was everything. He would sit out there with his flute all by himself, silent. And I could hear him inside. And I'd be cooking up something, He liked my stuffed pork chops and things like that, so that's probably what he missed the most of me anyway. But he was we had everything until we left. Everything I ever wanted or needed or could ask for.
What year was
ever
it?
Again.
What year was it that you moved to Arizona?
71. Route 66. And the girls, when I tell them that, get your kicks on Route 66. What's that, Mommy? But they didn't like it either when we got here. But I made sure they made friends. And they had a son, a boy and a girl across the street, about the same age. So, and he was a wild hunter and gave us all kinds of venison and whatever he caught. And he was quite a guy. Dutch liked him, just for him just to have a short chap, and that's it. That was about that was my life right there. I knew nobody. I'm here on my own.
What city did you live in here? What area?
The Valley, Paradise Valley. I didn't like any other part of Phoenix, or any of it. None of it. Or that way or that way. I could go up to the mountains anytime. And that's when I used to ask, how do I get out of here to someplace cooler? Where's the best place to go? Well, have you been to Flagstaff? And I said, yeah, but I don't like Flagstaff. And they said, how about Sedona? And they said, that's too expensive. And I said, I heard something about Pine. No, that's too far, go to Payson. Every time I turned around, it was Payson, Payson. So I would take my daughter, and with the people that I knew and I had met, that we'd go up there, have a tent, stay for the weekend, go to the falls, had a swimming pool, and we'd go swimming. But that was after I left Dutch. That's how I raised my girls from then on. I did not like Phoenix at all. I'm a native California girl, and it did not rub on me at all. And in those days, in the 70s, nothing but cowboys and cowboy hats. That's all I saw. And I'm going, where are my people? What am I to do? Where are my people? And, you know, Dutch would be okay. I go over and see him, and he'd be 3 sheets to the wind. No, he wasn't going to do me any good. So I started meeting people. I'd go in and have a couple of beers and meet people. I met some fantastic people. A lot of people. But, no, it was not going well at all. And he'd fall. He wouldn't make it home. And he'd be in the bus, crashed. It wasn't home to me anymore, and no part of it was. I was a very unhappy woman.
Speaking of the bus, tell us how he came to own this bus or obtain it.
By this lady, I'm so sorry, I cannot remember. It's like a Doris or an Ethel or something like that. And she was very tall. She was a slender woman, not skinny, like I am, but a wonderful personality. And she adored Dutch. She just, I never knew she was even there half the time when she'd come over, you know, a couple of times. And she'd just be so quiet and just watch every move that Dutch made. The second time she came over, she knocked on the door because Dutch had some people out there. And I opened the door and it's her, and I said, oh my gosh, come on in. And we talked, and that's when she told me about the bus. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that would be wonderful, because she wanted to, you know, give this bus to Dutch so he could put all his, you know, everything in it, his lathe and whatever he wanted. And to thank her for it, she came over and saw it once, and that's the last time we saw her. Dutch told me she came over and came in the bus. I guess she was leaving California, I don't know, but we never saw her again.
What year did he get the bus?
We were there for, I think he'd had the bus in Calabasas for 5 years. Yeah, 4 or 5 years, 4.5, 5 years. He had the bus. That's when he built the, he had the lathe and everything, yeah. That's when he built the louver machine. He had built that big, humongous louver machine. Oh my gosh. Couldn't believe how loud that was. It was loud. I said, I hope you're not going to do this all day long. He said, yeah, I'm putting louvers on the jack. You know, like, I know. He said, give my ears a rest, but of course I left.
Did you ride over in the bus when you came to Arizona?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All three of you?
My truck was behind it. That was my truck. Keenan Wynn gave me that truck. That was Sheila's truck. This is Sheila's truck, Dutch. I loved him for that. I loved him for that. He was such an awesome person. Very thoughtful.
Now, who was it that gave you the
Keenan Wynn
Keenan
gave me
Wynn?
the truck.
Oh.
And Dutch put the, you know, Dutch is still alive, is what he put on the, that's where you look through your rearview mirror and see it, you know, Dutch is still alive, otherwise it's backwards. Yeah. I said, oh, I'm quite sure that everybody will think this is your truck. So, made me happy anyway. I could drive that truck anytime I wanted.
So all 4 of you came over to Arizona in this bus?
Yeah. Yes, we did.
What time of year was it?
Hot.
That's all you need to say.
Miserable. Oh, couldn't believe it. Never been in that kind of heat in my entire life. I came to Arizona once when I was about 15, 16, because we'd either go to Palm Springs and party, us gals, or we go to Phoenix here. But it was always hard to get a room here. And we'd sign up in Palm Springs the year ahead. But here they take whoever got in. So that was kind of fun. That was the first time I was here, and yeah, I got burned. Never got burned on the beach. And there goes Sheila, this is not California. Sure enough, I got the burn here and the burn here on my shoulders. But yeah, I'd never been to California, Arizona really. My grandmother brought me here when I was a little girl, and I remember Route 66 from the time I was a little girl, my sister, and we went over to the mines, is where they took us then. And really, I'm not going in there, Grandma. No, I'm not going in there, Grandma. It's okay. He said, no, it's not. It's rattlesnakes everywhere.
When and how did you find out that he had passed away?
I was in, I rented a cabin type thing up in Big Bear. That's where I was. I'd been quite ill, so I couldn't make the funeral at all. I could barely walk then, because I had scoliosis. I'd been in the hospital for 7 days. And I went back up about 2 weeks later, and I went back up to Big Bear. And that's when I got the call. And I said, well, I can't drive. I can't put any pressure. Nothing, so that's why I didn't make it. And Bob Burns, which is our good friend, the one friend that I met when I came here in Phoenix, Arizona, but his wife didn't like Von Dutch, and so that way I could have had a friend, is what, Bob Burns was thinking, and Dutch too. But it didn't happen that way. Total different worlds, honey. So, yeah. So where was I?
What would you like the world to know about Von Dutch, other than what you've said? I know that you talked a lot and you have a great admiration for his ability and his talent.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like it. It's overwhelming when you watched him. Totally overwhelming. And I'm going, oh God, how do you do that? How do you do that? It's totally amazing. Just amazing. And then sometimes when it would be, pretty crowded, that's when I would leave. Like, girls, get your baggage. Always everything had to be filled in their baggage so that they had what they needed whenever Mom decided, I'm leaving. And then I tell him, say, I'll see you later, going up the canyon. And he had all their numbers. If he ever needed to get in touch with me, he knew how to do it. So. But that's how I lived apart and yet together, and was always there to, he had food in the refrigerator, so help yourself, and the beer and the food, and, And I know it fell apart when we separated. Nobody's gonna take that part. No way. Just one woman that can do that, and that's me. That was it.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add, to say?
I had wished that the girls would have taken it a little differently when they went out into it, and full force is just not the way. You've got to get things organized when you're being, it's hard to explain, but they were young, immature, and had no idea what was even going to happen, much less what did happen. So it's not a happy time for us. It was hardship, but we got through it, and then I just get through with all this respect and And I'm a strong woman. I'll handle it. No problem.
I bet you will.
I like to go to Hawaii once in a while. Yeah, and Dutch had said one time, wow, I couldn't believe this, and somebody actually wrote it down. Well, it's all she wanted was some money. And I'm going, what? Money? I'd say a certain amount for that shopping, and that was it. And then I'd say, I need this much because the girls are starting school and I'm not making their clothes again this year. That was it. I made them first year and the second year, but I'm not making them anymore. They're growing too fast. So. And I never bought anything for the girls or myself that I didn't buy something for Dutch. And it usually was a shirt, because all his shirts were, you know. And I knew that one eventually would be. He'd save it for a while in case we went together out somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, that's the way the money went, because it just was not there. One day Steve McQueen comes in and says, and I got it cracked open, like about yay. And I was just getting ready to get on the piano. I don't play the piano, but I like fooling around at the piano. And all of a sudden I hear McQueen say to Dutch, or Dutch said to McQueen, excuse me, well, I guess I could do for $1 million, Steve. He says, you can afford that, can't you? And he says, Dutch, he said it'd change you. And I'm going, darn. Yeah, it was come and go, but come see, come saw, you know. And we managed. I don't know if any other woman could live with Dutch for more than 6 days. Much less, you know, on his arm for 17 and a half years. Yeah, we were married in 57. And we split in 72.
Where were you married? What city?
California, Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the original one. There's a lot of copies where they, you know, I said, well, George Ashe is just like, God, he's all over the page, you know. His wife was there. She was a sweetheart, but no, Dutch didn't want to get married in no church or anything like that. So we went to the Justice of the Peace, and that's where we got married and celebrated afterwards, and all our friends, and it was fun. What?